The fluorescent lights of Seoul International Hospital's fourth-floor corridor explode in a shower of sparks and glass as a bullet tears through the ceiling 3 inches above Evelyn Williams' head. She hits the cold linoleum floor, her blue scrubs already soaked with someone else's blood, as screams erupt from the emergency room behind her. Through the smoke and chaos of panicking patients, Evelyn sees him, the tattooed stranger who had kissed her in the hospital parking garage barely 6 hours ago. Hajun bursts through the double doors of the ER, his black shirt torn and stained crimson, the intricate dragon tattoos on his neck seeming to writhe in the flickering emergency lights. He's not running from the gunfire. He's running toward her. Behind him, men in black suits pour into the corridor like a flood of shadows, their weapons drawn, their faces cold and expressionless. But Hajun doesn't look back. His eyes, dark, intense, desperate, lock onto Evelyn's as he closes the distance between them in 3 powerful strides. "Get down!" he shouts, his voice cutting through the screams as he throws his body over hers. Another round of bullets shreds the wall where she'd been standing just seconds before. Evelyn's hands instinctively press against his torso to push him away, but she feels it, warm, wet, pulsing. Blood. His blood. "You're hit," she gasps, her nurse training overriding her terror. Her fingers find the wound beneath his ribs, and she presses down hard. "You need to let me." "No time." Hajun grabs her wrist with a tattooed hand, his grip iron-strong despite the blood seeping between her fingers. "They are not here for me, Evelyn. They are here for you." The words don't make sense. Nothing makes sense. She's just a Nigerian nurse working double shifts to send money home to Lagos. She saves lives. She doesn't end them. But as Hajun pulls her to her feet and she sees the line of suited men advancing down the corridor, their movements synchronized, military, hunting, Evelyn Williams realizes that the quiet life she's been living for the past 8 years was never hers to keep. The stranger who kissed her this morning wasn't a stranger at all. And the world she thought she knew is about to shatter like the glass still raining down around them. Hajun drags Evelyn through the service entrance as gunfire continues to pepper the walls behind them. Her hands are still pressed against his wound, but he moves like the injury doesn't exist, like pain is something he learned to ignore long ago. They crash through the doors into the emergency room, and the chaos explodes around them, nurses screaming, patients diving under gurneys, the sharp smell of antiseptic mixing with gunpowder. "Stay behind me," Hajun commands, releasing her wrist only to reach behind his back. He pulls a handgun from his waistband with the casual ease of someone who's done it 1,000 times before. "You brought a gun into my hospital." Evelyn hisses, but the absurdity of her indignation hits her immediately. Men are literally shooting at them. "Priorities, Evelyn." Hajun doesn't answer. He's already moving, his body a blur of controlled violence as the first attacker rounds the corner. The fight is over in seconds. Hajun's movements are precise, economical, nothing wasted. He disarms the man with a twist of his wrist, drives an elbow into his throat, and drops him before the attacker can even pull the trigger. But it's not the violence that freezes Evelyn in place. It's what she sees when Hajun's torn shirt rides up during the struggle. The tattoos don't stop at his neck and hands. They cover his entire torso, his back, spiraling down his arms in intricate patterns that seem to pulse with their own dark light. Dragons. Not the decorative kind she's seen on other men, but something ancient, something alive. The ink shifts and writhes across his skin like it's breathing, like it's watching her. "What the hell are you?" she whispers. Hajun turns to her, chest heaving, blood dripping from his knuckles. For a moment, something vulnerable flashes across his face, regret, maybe, or shame. Then it's gone, replaced by cold determination. "I'm a dragon warrior," he says flatly. "Sworn protector of the Beaman bloodline. And you, Evelyn Williams, are the last living heir to a kingdom that was supposed to be dead." Before she can process his words, 3 more attackers burst through the ER doors. Hajun moves to intercept them, but one breaks away, heading straight for Evelyn. She grabs a metal tray from the nearest gurney and swings it with all her strength, catching him across the temple. He goes down hard, and she stands there, shaking, the tray still raised. "Not bad for a nurse," Hajun says, almost smiling as he finishes off the other 2. But the smile dies when they hear it, the sound of boots, dozens of them, echoing through the hospital corridors. "We need to move. Now." He grabs her hand, and this time she doesn't resist. They run through the maze of the hospital, past supply closets and operating rooms, until Hajun pulls her into a janitorial storage room and locks the door behind them. In the sudden silence, Evelyn can hear her own heartbeat pounding in her ears. Explain, she demands, pressing her back against the wall. Explain everything, or I swear I will scream until security. Security can't help you. Hajun's voice is quiet, almost gentle. The men hunting you aren't from this world, Evelyn. They are Ironclan warriors, and they've been searching for you since the day you were born. That kiss this morning, it wasn't random. It was a binding ritual. I marked you as mine to protect you, but I also made you visible to every enemy you've spent 8 years hiding from. Evelyn's knees buckle. She slides down the wall until she's sitting on the cold floor, her scrubs still sticky with his blood. This is insane. I'm from Lagos. I grew up in Lagos. My father is a banker, my mother. Your mother died when you were 3, Hajun interrupts softly. And the man you call father isn't your real father. He's a guardian, placed in your life to keep you hidden. To keep you safe. The words should sound crazy. They should be impossible. But somewhere deep in her chest, in a place she's spent years trying to ignore, Evelyn feels a cold recognition. The gaps in her childhood memories. The nightmares of golden palaces and jade thrones. The way her father always watched her with sad, knowing eyes. Why now? She asks, her voice breaking. Why come for me now? Hajun crouches down in front of her, his tattooed hands hanging loose between his knees. Because the rift between worlds is tearing itself apart. And according to an ancient prophecy, only the shadow nurse, only you, can seal it. Or die trying. Outside the door, footsteps approach. Hajun stands, positioning himself between Evelyn and the entrance, his body tense and ready. The dragon tattoos on his skin begin to glow with a faint, eerie light. Stay behind me, he says again. No matter what happens, Evelyn. You stay behind me. The footsteps stop outside the door. Evelyn holds her breath, her fingers digging into the rough fabric of her scrubs. Hajun's hand hovers near his weapon, his entire body coiled like a spring. Then, instead of the crash of forced entry, there's a soft knock. 3 taps, rhythmic and deliberate. Evie, a voice calls from the other side. Female, cultured, with a slight British accent that cuts through the tension like a knife. I know you're in there. And I know you're with him. Open the door before this gets uglier than it already is. Evelyn's heart stops. She knows that voice. It's haunted her dreams for years, though she could never remember why. Who? Don't, Hajun warns. But Evelyn is already moving, her hand reaching for the lock. Some instinct older than logic pulls her forward. She opens the door. The woman standing in the hallway is breathtaking and terrifying in equal measure. She wears a designer pantsuit in cream white, now splattered with blood that looks black under the fluorescent lights. Her hair is pulled back in a severe bun, and her face, God, her face, is like looking into a mirror that shows Evelyn's future. Same bone structure, same full lips, same dark skin. But where Evelyn's eyes hold warmth and compassion, this woman's eyes are cold amber, burning with an ancient rage. Hello, little sister, the woman says, and the world tilts sideways. Kim Jwin, Hajun breathes, stepping between them immediately. You shouldn't be here. And yet, here I am. Kim Jwin's smile is all teeth and no humor. She looks past Hajun to Evelyn, and something flickers in her expression. Pain, maybe, or longing. Look at you. Playing nurse while kingdoms burn. Did he tell you yet? Did your dragon warrior explain what you really are? Evelyn's mouth is dry. You're not my sister. I don't have a sister. I'm an only child. You're Princess Jaywa of the Beaman Kingdom, Kim Jwin interrupts, her voice sharp. Daughter of King Olatund and Queen Amora. And I am Kim Jwin, your older sister, the one they cast aside because I wasn't powerful enough to seal the rift. The one who watched you get every privilege, every protection, while I was left to burn in my own rage. She takes a step forward, and Hajun's hand moves to his weapon. But Kim Jwin just laughs, a sound like breaking glass. Relax, dragon boy. I'm not here to kill her. I'm here to deliver a message. She reaches into her jacket, and Hajun tenses, but she only pulls out a folded piece of paper, its edges stained with something dark. Your father, our father, is dead. Died 3 days ago in Lagos. Heart attack, they said. But you and I both know there's no such thing as coincidence in our world. Evelyn snatches the paper from Kim Jwin's hand. It's a death certificate, official, stamped, dated. Emmanuel Okoro. The man who raised her, who taught her to ride a bike, who worked 3 jobs to send her to nursing school in America. Dead. No, Evelyn whispers. No, this isn't. He was fine. I just talked to him last week. They are cleaning up loose ends, Kim Jwin says, and for the first time, her voice carries something other than contempt. It carries grief. Everyone connected to your old life. Everyone who helped hide you. The Ironclan doesn't forgive, Evelyn. They don't forget. And they are coming for you next. Hajun's jaw clenches. You need to leave. Now. I will, Kim Jwin says. But first, little sister, you need to understand something. The man you called father? He loved you enough to die for you. The question is, are you brave enough to live for what he protected? She turns to go, then pauses. Oh, and Hajun, your father sends his regards. He's very disappointed you chose her over your duty. Then she's gone, disappearing down the corridor like smoke. Evelyn slides down the wall again, the death certificate crumpling in her shaking hands. Hajun crouches beside her, his presence steady even as her world falls apart. I need to go home, she says numbly. I need to go back to Lagos. I need to. You can't. Hajun's voice is gentle but firm. The moment you step on a plane, they'll kill you. The moment you try to contact anyone from your old life, you paint a target on their back. Your father died to keep you hidden, Evelyn. Don't make his sacrifice meaningless. She looks up at him, tears streaming down her face. Who am I? Really? Hajun reaches out slowly, giving her time to pull away. When she doesn't, he cups her face in his tattooed hands. You're the shadow nurse. The death kiss. The lost princess of Beaman. But right now, in this moment, you're a woman who just lost her father. And I'm so sorry. For a long moment, they sit there in the fluorescent-lit storage room, surrounded by mops and cleaning supplies, while the world burns down around them. Then Evelyn wipes her eyes, stands up, and straightens her scrubs. Okay, she says. Okay. If I'm this princess, if I'm this shadow nurse, then I need answers. Real answers. Starting with why I can't remember any of it. Hajun stands with her, a shadow of admiration crossing his features. That's the right question. And I know exactly where we need to go to find the answer. Hajun's safe house is a penthouse apartment in downtown Seoul, all glass walls and minimalist furniture that screams money and danger in equal measure. Evelyn stands by the floor-to-ceiling windows, looking out at the city lights while Hajun tends to his wound in the bathroom. She can hear water running, the clink of medical supplies. He refused to let her treat him, insisting his had worse. She catches her reflection in the glass. Blue scrubs. Exhausted eyes. A woman who woke up this morning worried about shift schedules and overdue bills. That woman feels like a stranger now. Tell me about my childhood, she says when Hajun emerges, his torso now wrapped in clean bandages. The dragon tattoos writhe across his skin, seeming more agitated than before. Tell me everything. Hajun pours 2 glasses of whiskey and hands her one. She doesn't drink alcohol usually, but tonight she makes an exception. The burn feels good, real, grounding. You were born in the Beaman Kingdom, he begins, settling into the chair across from her. A realm that exists parallel to this one, accessible only through rifts in reality. Your mother, Queen Amora, was the most powerful healer the kingdom had ever known. Your father, King Olatund, was a warrior king who united 5 clans under one throne. You were their second daughter, born under a blood moon, marked by prophecy. Prophecy, Evelyn repeats flatly. Of course there's a prophecy. A ghost of a smile crosses Hajun's face. The shadow nurse will either heal the kingdom or destroy it. One kiss to seal the rift, or one death to tear it wider. Very dramatic, very vague, very useful for people who want to manipulate outcomes. And Kim Jwin, my sister. Your half-sister, Hajun corrects. Same father, different mother. She was born without the healing gift, without the prophetic mark. In a kingdom built on magic and power, she was considered ordinary, disposable. Evelyn thinks of the rage she saw in Kim Jwin's eyes, the bitterness dripping from every word. So she hates me. She hates what you represent, Hajun says carefully. But hatred and love are closer than you think. She came to warn you today, didn't she? She could have led the Ironclan straight to you, but she didn't. Evelyn takes another sip of whiskey. Her hands have stopped shaking, but the grief over her father, Emmanuel, she corrects herself, he'll always be Emmanuel to her, sits like a stone in her chest. Why can't I remember? She asks. If I lived there until I was 3, why is it all just blank? Hajun's expression darkens. Because your parents did something forbidden. They used a memory seal, an ancient ritual that locked away your first 3 years. It was the only way to hide you in plain sight. If you couldn't remember the kingdom, couldn't access your powers, you'd be invisible to those hunting you. But I have nightmares, Evelyn says slowly. Dreams of a palace. Gold and jade everywhere. A woman singing to me in a language I don't understand. The seal is breaking. Hajun stands, begins pacing. The movement is restless, almost predatory. That's why they found you now. Why I had to mark you. The magic that's been hiding you for 8 years is failing, and when it does completely, you'll remember everything, including how to use your power. My power. Evelyn laughs, but there's no humor in it. I'm a nurse, Hajun. I take blood pressure and change bedpans. I don't have. The glass in her hand shatters. Not from pressure, not from heat. It simply breaks, the pieces falling to the floor in a perfect circle around her feet. Where the whiskey spills on her skin, it glows for just a second with a soft golden light before fading. That, Hajun says quietly, is your power. The death kiss. The healing touch. You don't just save lives, Evelyn. You can give them back. Reverse death itself, if the body is still warm. That's why they call you the shadow nurse. That's why you're the only one who can seal the rift. Evelyn stares at her hands. The same hands that have performed CPR, inserted fours, held dying patients in their final moments. The same hands that, apparently, can bring people back from death. I want to remember, she says suddenly. Whatever ritual my parents did, I want to undo it. I need to know who I really am. Hajun stops pacing. If you break the seal, there's no going back. You'll remember everything, the good and the bad, the love and the loss, the power and the price. I'm already in this, Evelyn says. Emmanuel is dead. People are hunting me. I'm apparently some kind of prophetic princess. I need to stop being the victim of my own story and start being the protagonist. For a long moment, Hajun just looks at her. Then he nods, a slow smile spreading across his face. There's an artifact in your apartment. Your parents left it there when they placed you with Emmanuel. A dagger, ancient, made of celestial iron. If you touch it, the seal will break. My apartment. Evelyn frowns. I've lived there for 3 years. I've never seen any. But even as she says it, she knows. The locked closet in her bedroom. The one Emmanuel told her never to open, said it contained dangerous electrical equipment. The one she never questioned because she trusted him completely. We need to go back, she says. Now. Hajun's expression turns grim. The Ironclan will be watching your place. It's a trap. Then we spring it, Evelyn says. She sets down what's left of her shattered glass and meets his eyes. You said I'm the shadow nurse. You said I'm powerful. Let's find out if that's true. They approach Evelyn's apartment building at 2 a.m., moving through shadows like ghosts. Hajun insisted they wait until the dead of night, insisted they scout the perimeter first. What they find makes Evelyn's blood run cold. The building isn't being watched by men in suits with guns. It's being watched by warriors in full armor, standing sentinel in the alley like something out of a historical drama. Except their armor doesn't reflect light. It absorbs it, making them look like holes punched in reality itself. Ironclan, Hajun whispers. 6 of them. This is worse than I thought. Can we take them? We. Hajun gives her a look. You're a civilian. I'm a princess, apparently. Evelyn grabs his arm. And we need that dagger. So tell me, can we take them or not? Hajun studies the warriors, his jaw tight. My dragon marks give me strength, speed, limited invulnerability. But 6 Ironclan soldiers? That's suicide. Then we don't fight. Evelyn's mind races, falling into the same problem-solving mode she uses in the ER during a code blue. We distract. You draw them out. I slip in through the fire escape, grab the dagger, and we run. Absolutely not. Do you have a better plan? Evelyn challenges. When Hajun doesn't answer, she nods. That's what I thought. Let's go. Before he can stop her, she's moving. Years of double shifts have taught her to move quietly, efficiently, even when exhausted. She makes it to the fire escape without detection, pulling herself up with trembling arms. Behind her, she hears Hajun curse softly, then the sound of his footsteps deliberately loud as he approaches the front entrance. The warriors turn as one, their synchronized movement inhuman and terrifying. Hajun steps into the light, hands raised. Ironclan, he calls out. I invoke Pali. Dragon warrior of the Beaman line requests an audience. They don't respond with words. They respond with weapons, swords that materialize from the darkness itself, gleaming with an otherworldly sheen. Hajun drops his hands and smiles. Figured as much, he says, and then his moving, a blur of tattooed fury. Evelyn doesn't wait to see what happens. She climbs through her bedroom window, her heart hammering so hard she's sure the entire building can hear it. The apartment is dark, undisturbed, exactly as she left it this morning. This morning, when her biggest worry was whether Mrs. Chen in 4B would need her insulin adjusted. She goes straight to the closet. The padlock is old, rusted. She grabs a hammer from her toolbox and smashes it open. The door swings wide, and there's no electrical equipment inside. There's only a wooden box, ornately carved with symbols she can't read but somehow recognizes. Her hands shake as she opens it. The dagger inside is beautiful and terrible. The blade is black as midnight, the handle wrapped in leather so old it's almost powder. But it's the symbols etched along the blade that make her breath catch. The same symbols she's seen in her nightmares, the same ones that seem to writhe across Hajun's skin when his dragon marks glow. She reaches out, her fingers hovering just above the metal. "I wouldn't do that if I were you," a voice says from behind her. Evelyn spins. Standing in her bedroom doorway is a warrior, but not like the ones outside. This one is ancient, his armor covered in runes that glow with sickly green light. His face is hidden behind a helmet shaped like a snarling demon. "Princess Jaywa," the warrior says, and his voice sounds like grinding stone. "The Ironclan has decreed your execution. You have 48 hours to surrender yourself willingly, or we will take you by force and kill everyone you've ever loved." "I don't even know who I am," Evelyn says, hating how her voice shakes. "How can you execute me for something I don't remember?" "Ignorance is not innocence." The warrior takes a step forward. "Your very existence threatens the balance between worlds. The rift grows wider every day, spilling demons and darkness into both realms. Only your death can seal it." That's not what Hajun said. The dragon warrior serves his own interests, not yours. Another step. He believes he can use you to save his kingdom, but he will fail. They all fail. The prophecy is clear. The shadow nurse must die, or all worlds will burn. Evelyn's hand closes around the dagger's handle. The world explodes. Light pours from the blade, golden and blinding. The warrior screams, a sound like metal tearing, and staggers backward. But Evelyn barely notices because she's not in her apartment anymore. She's standing in a palace of gold and jade, watching a woman with her face, older, regal, wearing robes of crimson silk, kiss a man's forehead and whisper words in a language that Evelyn suddenly understands perfectly. "Be brave, my daughter. Be strong. And remember, above all else, that love is the most powerful magic of all." The vision shatters. Evelyn is back in her apartment, on her knees, the dagger clutched in her hands. The warrior is gone, but she can hear sounds of fighting from outside. Hajun is still battling the others. She remembers. She remembers everything. The palace. The kingdom. Her mother's face. Her father's strength. Kim Jwin's bitterness even as a child, watching Evelyn receive all the attention, all the love. She remembers the night they fled, her mother crying as she performed the memory seal, her father holding her while she screamed because even at 3 years old, she understood she was losing something precious. She remembers her real name, Jaywa, Princess of Beaman, the death kiss, the shadow nurse. And she remembers the prophecy in its entirety, not the edited version everyone keeps telling her. The shadow nurse will heal the rift with a kiss and a death. But the death need not be her own. Evelyn stands, the dagger heavy in her hand. She knows what she has to do now. She knows what she is. But more importantly, she knows what they've all been lying about. The ritual doesn't require her death. It requires a death. A sacrifice, yes, but not necessarily hers. Which means every person who's told her she needs to die has been either misinformed or deliberately lying. She walks to the window. Below, Hajun is surrounded, bleeding from a dozen cuts, his dragon marks glowing so bright they look like they are burning through his skin. The Ironclan warriors are circling, ready to deliver the killing blow. Evelyn doesn't think. She jumps, she lands in a crouch that should shatter her ankles but doesn't. The dagger in her hand pulses with power, cushioning her fall with magic she now understands instinctively. The Ironclan warriors freeze, their attention snapping to her. "Stop," Evelyn commands, and her voice carries an authority she's never possessed before. The voice of a princess. The voice of someone who was born to rule. "I am Princess Jaywa of Beaman, and I invoke the ancient law of challenge. You will not touch him." The warriors hesitate. Even Hajun stares at her, blood dripping from his split lip, shock written across his face. The death kiss has awakened, one warrior whispers. Impossible, another hisses. The seal was supposed to hold. Your seal was flawed, Evelyn says, walking forward with a confidence she doesn't entirely feel but needs to project. I remember everything now, including the full prophecy. The one you've been editing to suit your purposes. The lead warrior, the one with the demon helmet, steps forward. The prophecy is clear, princess. Your death seals the rift. My death, or a death, Evelyn corrects. The ritual requires sacrifice, yes. But it doesn't specify whose. You've been hunting me for 8 years, ready to murder a child, because you assumed I was the sacrifice. You never considered there might be another way. The warrior's hand tightens on his sword. There is no other way. We've searched for centuries. Then you haven't searched hard enough. Evelyn raises the dagger. I'm willing to perform the ritual. I'm willing to seal the rift. But I'm not willing to die for your convenience. Give me 48 hours to find another solution. If I fail, I'll surrender myself. But if I succeed, the Ironclan will leave me, and everyone I care about, in peace. The warriors exchange glances. Finally, the leader speaks. 48 hours, he agrees. But know this, princess. If you fail, we will not simply kill you. We will erase every trace that you ever existed. Every person who helped you, every person who loved you, will burn. Starting with him. He points at Hajun. Then they are gone, vanishing like smoke on the wind. Evelyn's knees buckle. Hajun catches her before she hits the ground, his arms strong despite his injuries. That was either the bravest or stupidest thing I've ever seen, he says, but there's admiration in his voice. You remember everything. Everything, Evelyn confirms. She pulls back to look at him, and the concern on his face is so genuine it makes her chest ache. Including what you didn't tell me. The ritual requires you to kill me, doesn't it? That's your duty as a dragon warrior. That's what you've been trained to do since you were a child. Hajun's expression shudders. Yes. And you were going to do it, Evelyn says. Not a question. A statement. I was, Hajun admits. When I first marked you, when I first kissed you this morning, I thought I could go through with it. I thought I could be what my father raised me to be, a weapon, a tool, nothing more. But then I saw you in that hospital, saving lives even as bullets flew around you. I saw you grieve for a man who wasn't even your real father, but who loved you anyway. I saw you jump out of a second-story window to save someone you barely know. He touches her face gently. I can't kill you, Evelyn. I can't. Even if it means defying my father, my clan, my entire purpose. I'll find another way. We'll find another way, Evelyn corrects. She takes his hand, the one covered in dragon tattoos, and presses it against her heart. Together. For a moment, they just stand there in the empty alley, two people from different worlds who shouldn't fit together but somehow do. Then Hajun winces, his hand going to his side where blood is seeping through his bandages. Come on, Evelyn says, slipping under his arm to support his weight. Let's get you patched up properly this time. And then you're going to tell me everything about this ritual. If we're going to beat an ancient prophecy, we need to know exactly what we're up against. Back at the safe house, Evelyn finally forces Hajun to let her treat his wounds properly. He sits shirtless on the bathroom counter while she cleans the cuts across his chest and ribs. The dragon tattoos are mesmerizing up close, not just decorative ink, but something alive, something that shifts and breathes with his pulse. Does it hurt? She asks, dabbing antiseptic on a particularly deep gash. When they glow like this. It burns, Hajun admits. Like fire under my skin. The marks are more than decoration. They are a prison and a power source. Every dragon warrior is tattooed at birth with binding symbols. They give us strength, speed, enhanced healing. But they also tie us to our duty. The more I defy my purpose, the more they burn. And your purpose is to kill me. Evelyn's hands are steady as she stitches the wound. Muscle memory from 1,000 ER shifts. Was to kill you, Hajun corrects. Now my purpose is to keep you alive, no matter the cost. Even if it kills you. She ties off the stitch and meets his eyes. Because that's what will happen, isn't it? If you defy the ritual, if you refuse to complete your duty, these marks will eventually consume you. Hajun doesn't deny it. I've lived my entire life as a weapon. For once, I'd like to die as a man who made his own choice. The words hit Evelyn harder than any bullet. She sets down the medical supplies and steps between his legs, forcing him to look at her. No one is dying. Not you, not me. We're going to figure this out. Evelyn. Do you trust me? She asks. I barely know you, Hajun says, but his hands come up to rest on her waist, gentle despite their strength. But yes. God help me, yes. Then trust me when I say there's always another answer. I've worked in emergency medicine long enough to know that sometimes the solution isn't the obvious one. Sometimes you have to think laterally, creatively. Sometimes you have to. She stops, her eyes going wide. The dagger. I need to look at the dagger again. She runs to the living room where she left it on the coffee table. In the better light, she can see the symbols more clearly. They are not random decorative elements, they are instructions. A formula. A ritual spelled out in an ancient language that she somehow, inexplicably, can now read. What is it? Hajun appears beside her, still bare-chested, blood still dripping from cuts she hasn't finished treating. The ritual, Evelyn breathes. It's all here. One kiss to bind the worlds, one death to seal the rift, one sacrifice to balance the scales. But look at this symbol here. She points to a character that looks like two hands clasped together. This doesn't mean death. It means transformation. Change. The ritual doesn't require someone to die. It requires someone to give up their power, their identity, their old self. A symbolic death. Hajun leans closer, his breath warm against her neck. You're saying we can perform the ritual without actual bloodshed? I'm saying maybe. Possibly. I need more information. Evelyn stands, pacing now, her mind working through the problem like it's a complex medical case. The rift was created by an imbalance, right? Some kind of magical trauma. To heal it, we need to restore balance. That's basic physics, basic medicine. For every action, an equal and opposite reaction. You're talking about magic like it's science, Hajun says, almost smiling. Maybe it is. Maybe that's the problem. Everyone's so focused on the mystical, prophetic angle that they've forgotten the fundamental rules. Evelyn grabs the dagger again, feeling its weight, its power. I need to talk to someone who understands both sides. Someone who knows the old magic and the old ways. My grandmother, Hajun says suddenly. Grandmother W.A. She's a seer, lived for over 200 years. She's the one who trained me, who marked me with these tattoos. If anyone knows the true nature of the ritual, it's her. Can we trust her? Evelyn asks. She's the one who made you a weapon. She's the one who sent you to kill me. She's also the one who taught me that duty without compassion is just another word for cruelty. Hajun takes Evelyn's hand. She'll help us. I know she will. Before Evelyn can respond, the windows explode inward. Glass showers the room as figures pour in from every direction. Not Ironclan warriors this time, but something worse. They look human at first glance, but their eyes glow with red light, and their skin is covered in symbols that writhe like living things. Rift demons. The creatures that have been spilling through the tear between worlds. Get behind me. Hajun shouts, but there are too many, coming too fast. One lunges at Evelyn. She reacts on instinct, raising the dagger. The blade connects with the demon's chest, and there's a flash of golden light. The creature doesn't just die, it transforms, the red light fading from its eyes, the symbols melting away from its skin until it's just a confused-looking man in torn clothes, blinking at her in shock. What did you do? The man gasped before collapsing, unconscious but alive. Evelyn stares at the dagger, then at her hands. I healed it. I reversed the corruption. I turned the demon back into whatever it was before. Death kiss, Hajun breathes. You can reverse death, reverse corruption, reverse any transformation. You're not just a healer, Evelyn. You're a reset button for magic itself. More demons swarm in. Evelyn moves without thinking, the dagger becoming an extension of her arm. Every demon she touches transforms back into a human, naked and confused and very much alive. Hajun fights beside her, protecting her flanks, taking down the demons she can't reach. They move like they've been partners for years instead of hours, perfectly synchronized. Then Evelyn sees him. Standing in the broken window, backlit by the Seoul city lights, is an older man who looks like an aged version of Hajun. Same bone structure, same intensity, but where Hajun's eyes carry warmth, this man's eyes are ice. Father, Hajun says, his voice flat. Traitor, the man responds. He steps into the room, and the remaining demons part for him like water. You marked the shadow nurse not to protect her, but to claim her. You've defied your duty, defied your clan, defied me. And now you'll pay the price. The man raises his hand, and the demons surge forward. But this time, they are not attacking Evelyn. They are attacking Hajun. The demons swarm Hajun like locusts, their clawed hands tearing at his skin, their weight dragging him down. Evelyn screams, lunging forward with the dagger, but Hajun's father, Deong, steps into her path. Stop, Deong commands, and the word carries such power that Evelyn freezes mid-step. Not from fear, but from the magic lacing his voice. Dragon warriors can compel obedience in those weaker than them, and right now, newly awakened or not, Evelyn is still learning to access her full strength. Let him go, she manages through gritted teeth. Whatever anger you have, it's with me, not him. My anger is with both of you. Deong's voice is cold, controlled. My son was born to be a weapon, forged in duty and discipline. For 30 years, I trained him to be perfect, to be unbreakable. And then you, a girl who's spent 8 years playing human, you corrupt him in a single day. You make him weak. I make him human, Evelyn spits back. The compulsion is fading. Her power is rising to meet it, the dagger in her hand glowing brighter. You made him a slave. There's a difference. Deong's hand shoots out, grabs her throat, lifts her off the ground. His strength is inhuman, his grip like iron. You will perform the ritual. You will die as the prophecy demands. And my son will be the one to kill you, as he was always meant to. This is the only way to restore his honor. Evelyn can't breathe, can't speak. Black spots dance across her vision. But she can still see Hajun across the room, buried under demons, his dragon marks burning so bright they look like they are melting his skin. He's trying to reach her, trying to fight through, but there are too many. Then she hears a voice, young and scared. Mommy? Daddy? What's happening? Evelyn's eyes flick to the doorway. 3 children stand there, rubbing sleep from their eyes. They are wearing pajamas, they are speaking Korean, and they are staring at the chaos in the apartment with pure terror. They must be from one of the other units, drawn by the noise. Deong's grip loosens for just a fraction of a second. It's enough. Evelyn brings the dagger up and presses it against Deong's wrist. Golden light flares, and he jerks back with a hiss, releasing her. She lands hard, gasping, but she's already moving. She sprints to the children, puts herself between them and the demons. Run, she tells them in broken Korean. Run now. But the demons are already turning, following Deong's silent command. They are going for the children, using them as leverage. It's a classic hostage tactic, and it's working. Evelyn's power is for healing, not attack. She can reverse corruption, but she can't fight off a dozen demons at once. Then Hajun explodes. The dragon marks across his body ignite with power so intense it's blinding. He tears through the demons like paper, his movements pure violence, pure rage. But it's not the cold, disciplined fighting from before. This is primal, desperate, a man who's watched the last line being crossed. Touch those children, Hajun snarls, his voice distorted by power. And I'll show you what a true dragon warrior can do when you take away his last reason to hold back. Deong actually smiles. There's my son. Finally, I see the weapon I created. I'm not your weapon anymore. Hajun stands between Evelyn, the children, and his father. His skin is smoking, the dragon marks eating into his flesh. He's burning himself out, using more power than his body can sustain. I'm hers, and I'll die protecting her before I'll live serving you. Then die, Deong says simply, and the demons attack again. But this time, Evelyn is ready. She touches each child, and her power flows through them, not healing, exactly, but hiding. The dagger's magic wraps around the children like invisible armor, making them unseen, untouchable. The demon's eyes slide right past them. Go, she whispers. Hide until this is over. The children run, smart enough to listen. Evelyn straightens, faces Deong directly. You want leverage, she says. You want to force me to die? Fine. But you're going to have to kill every innocent person in this building first. Because I won't let you use them. I won't let you hurt them. That's what it means to be a healer, Deong. That's what it means to be human. We protect the weak, even when it costs us everything. For a long moment, Deong just stares at her. Then he does something unexpected. He laughs. I see why my son chose you, he says. You're not weak at all, are you? You're just playing a different game. He waves his hand, and the demons retreat to stand behind him like an army awaiting orders. Very well. You have your 48 hours. But when that time expires, I will come for you myself. And I will make my son choose between his duty and his heart. One of you will die, Princess Jaywa. The only question is which. He turns to leave, then pauses. Oh, and your sister sends her regards. She's quite eager to see how this unfolds. After all, she's the one who told me where to find you. Then he's gone, the demons dissolving like smoke. Evelyn runs to Hajun. He's on his knees, his entire body shaking. The dragon marks are fading, but the damage they've done is severe. His skin is blistered, burned from the inside out. She presses her hands against his chest, channeling her power into him. But this isn't a wound she can simply heal. This is magical corruption, the price of defying his nature. I'm okay, Hajun lies, but his voice is weak. I just need a minute. You need Grandmother W.A., Evelyn says firmly. You said she's a seer, that she knows the old magic. If anyone can help you survive this, it's her. Where is she? Seoul Botanical Garden, Hajun manages. There's a temple, hidden in the bamboo grove. She'll be there. Can you walk? Can you carry me if I can't? Despite everything, Hajun smiles. Let's find out. The demons swarm Hajun like locusts, their clawed hands tearing at his skin, their weight dragging him down. Evelyn screams, lunging forward with the dagger, but Hajun's father, Deong, steps into her path. Stop, Deong commands, and the word carries such power that Evelyn freezes mid-step. Not from fear, but from the magic lacing his voice. Dragon warriors can compel obedience in those weaker than them, and right now, newly awakened or not, Evelyn is still learning to access her full strength. Let him go, she manages through gritted teeth. Whatever anger you have, it's with me, not him. My anger is with both of you. Deong's voice is cold, controlled. My son was born to be a weapon, forged in duty and discipline. For 30 years, I trained him to be perfect, to be unbreakable. And then you, a girl who's spent 8 years playing human, you corrupt him in a single day. You make him weak. I make him human, Evelyn spits back. The compulsion is fading. Her power is rising to meet it, the dagger in her hand glowing brighter. You made him a slave. There's a difference. Deong's hand shoots out, grabs her throat, lifts her off the ground. His strength is inhuman, his grip like iron. You will perform the ritual. You will die as the prophecy demands. And my son will be the one to kill you, as he was always meant to. This is the only way to restore his honor. Evelyn can't breathe, can't speak. Black spots dance across her vision. But she can still see Hajun across the room, buried under demons, his dragon marks burning so bright they look like they are melting his skin. He's trying to reach her, trying to fight through, but there are too many. Then she hears a voice, young and scared. Mommy? Daddy? What's happening? Evelyn's eyes flick to the doorway. 3 children stand there, rubbing sleep from their eyes. They are wearing pajamas, they are speaking Korean, and they are staring at the chaos in the apartment with pure terror. They must be from one of the other units, drawn by the noise. Deong's grip loosens for just a fraction of a second. It's enough. Evelyn brings the dagger up and presses it against Deong's wrist. Golden light flares, and he jerks back with a hiss, releasing her. She lands hard, gasping, but she's already moving. She sprints to the children, puts herself between them and the demons. Run, she tells them in broken Korean. Run now. But the demons are already turning, following Deong's silent command. They are going for the children, using them as leverage. It's a classic hostage tactic, and it's working. Evelyn's power is for healing, not attack. She can reverse corruption, but she can't fight off a dozen demons at once. Then Hajun explodes. The dragon marks across his body ignite with power so intense it's blinding. He tears through the demons like paper, his movements pure violence, pure rage. But it's not the cold, disciplined fighting from before. This is primal, desperate, a man who's watched the last line being crossed. Touch those children, Hajun snarls, his voice distorted by power. And I'll show you what a true dragon warrior can do when you take away his last reason to hold back. Deong actually smiles. There's my son. Finally, I see the weapon I created. I'm not your weapon anymore. Hajun stands between Evelyn, the children, and his father. His skin is smoking, the dragon marks eating into his flesh. He's burning himself out, using more power than his body can sustain. I'm hers, and I'll die protecting her before I'll live serving you. Then die, Deong says simply, and the demons attack again. But this time, Evelyn is ready. She touches each child, and her power flows through them, not healing, exactly, but hiding. The dagger's magic wraps around the children like invisible armor, making them unseen, untouchable. The demon's eyes slide right past them. "Go," she whispers. "Hide until this is over." The children run, smart enough to listen. Evelyn straightens, faces Deong directly. "You want leverage," she says. "You want to force me to die. Fine. But you're going to have to kill every innocent person in this building first. Because I won't let you use them. I won't let you hurt them. That's what it means to be a healer, Deong. That's what it means to be human. We protect the weak, even when it costs us everything." For a long moment, Deong just stares at her. Then he does something unexpected. He laughs. "I see why my son chose you," he says. "You're not weak at all, are you? You're just playing a different game." He waves his hand, and the demons retreat to stand behind him like an army awaiting orders. "Very well. You have your 48 hours. But when that time expires, I will come for you myself. And I will make my son choose between his duty and his heart. One of you will die, Princess Jaywa. The only question is which." He turns to leave, then pauses. "Oh, and your sister sends her regards. She's quite eager to see how this unfolds. After all, she's the one who told me where to find you." Then he's gone, the demons dissolving like smoke. Evelyn runs to Hajun. He's on his knees, his entire body shaking. The dragon marks are fading, but the damage they've done is severe. His skin is blistered, burned from the inside out. She presses her hands against his chest, channeling her power into him. But this isn't a wound she can simply heal. This is magical corruption, the price of defying his nature. "I'm okay," Hajun lies, but his voice is weak. "I just need a minute." "You need Grandmother W.A., Evelyn says firmly. "You said she's a seer, that she knows the old magic. If anyone can help you survive this, it's her." "Where is she?" "Seoul Botanical Garden," Hajun manages. "There's a temple, hidden in the bamboo grove. She'll be there. Can you walk? Can you carry me if I can't?" Despite everything, Hajun smiles. "Let's find out." The Seoul Botanical Garden at 4 a.m. is beautiful and eerie in equal measure. Mist clings to the ground, and the bamboo stalks create shadows that look like reaching hands. Evelyn supports most of Hajun's weight as they navigate the winding paths, following his whispered directions. "There," he finally says, pointing to what looks like a solid wall of bamboo. But when Evelyn looks closer, she can see it, a gap just wide enough for a person to slip through. A hidden entrance. They push through and find themselves in a small clearing. In the center stands a temple that seems to exist in two worlds at once. One moment it looks like an ancient Korean shrine, all wood and tile and weathered stone. The next moment it shimmers, becoming something else, a structure of jade and gold that matches Evelyn's memories of the Beaman Palace. "She's here," Hajun says. "She knows we're coming." The temple doors open without anyone touching them. Inside, sitting on a cushion in front of a low table, is a woman who might be 60 or might be 600. Her face is lined with age, but her eyes are sharp, knowing. She wears simple robes, and her hair is silver, pulled back in a bun. When she sees them, she smiles sadly. "Little dragon," she says to Hajun. "You're burning. I can smell it from here." "Grandmother," Hajun bows as much as he's able. I know what you need. Sit." Grandmother W.A.'s eyes shift to Evelyn, and something flickers in her expression, recognition, approval, sorrow. "Princess Jaywa. The death kiss. You've grown beautiful, child. Your mother would be proud." The casual mention of her mother makes Evelyn's throat tight. "You knew her." "I delivered you," Grandmother W.A. says simply. "I was there the night you were born, the night the prophecy was spoken. I've been watching you your entire life, though you never knew it." She gestures to the cushion across from her. "Sit. We have much to discuss and little time." Evelyn helps Hajun settle on the cushion, then sits beside him. The dagger feels heavy on her hip, where she's tucked it into her belt. Grandmother W.A. pours tea with steady hands. "First, the truth about the rift. It was not created by cosmic accident or ancient curse. It was created by rage. By a child who felt unloved, unseen, unwanted. Your sister, Kim Jwin, was 10 years old when her mother died. She was already bitter, already angry at how the kingdom favored you over her. But when she saw your parents grieve for their lost queen while barely acknowledging her existence, something in her broke. Evelyn's hand tightens around her teacup. She created the rift. Her rage did. Grandmother WA corrects. Rage is a powerful force, especially when combined with latent magical ability. Kim thought she had no power, but she was wrong. She had the power of destruction, the dark mirror to your healing gift. Her anguish tore a hole in reality itself, and through that hole, demons began to pour. So the prophecy, Evelyn says slowly, the sacrifice it requires, is balance, Grandmother WA finishes. The rift was created by one sister's rage. It can only be sealed by the other sister's forgiveness. That's the true meaning of one death to seal the rift. Not a physical death, but the death of anger, of bitterness, of the grudge that created the wound in the first place. Hajun leans forward. So Evelyn doesn't have to die. She just has to forgive Kim. And Kim has to accept that forgiveness, Grandmother WA adds. Which may be the harder task. Your sister has spent 25 years building an identity around her pain. Asking her to let it go is asking her to lose herself. I don't even remember her, Evelyn admits. The memory seal locked away my first 3 years. I know intellectually that she's my sister, but I have no emotional connection. How can I forgive someone I don't remember hurting me? The seal is already broken, Grandmother WA says. The memories are returning, you just need to look for them. And as for the emotional connection, she reaches across the table and touches Evelyn's forehead. Let me help. The world dissolves. Evelyn is 3 years old again, sitting in a golden palace. Across from her is a girl of 13, Kim Jwin, though she doesn't call herself that yet. The girl is teaching little Jaywa to braid her hair, her movements gentle despite the bitterness in her eyes. You're the special one, young Kim says. Everyone says so. The shadow nurse. The death kiss. The one who'll save us all. But you know what? You're also just my annoying little sister. And I'm stuck with you. Little Jaywa laughs and throws her arms around Kim's neck. Love you, Jwin. For just a moment, Kim's bitter expression softens. She hugs the child back. Yeah, kid. Love you too. The memory shifts. Now Evelyn sees the night of their mother's death. Sees young Kim standing in the hallway, watching as their parents sob over the queen's body. Sees how no one even glances at Kim, how no one thinks to comfort the older daughter who's also lost a mother. Sees the exact moment when Kim's face goes blank, when something inside her freezes over. When rage begins to build like pressure behind a dam. Sees the moment the dam breaks, and reality tears. The visions end. Evelyn gasps, back in the temple, tears streaming down her face. She loved me. Before everything, she loved me. And no one saw her pain. No one thought to help her. Grief unacknowledged becomes rage, Grandmother WA says softly. And rage unresolved becomes destruction. Your sister doesn't hate you, child. She hates what you represent, a love she thinks she can never have again. Then I'll give it to her, Evelyn says fiercely. I'll find her. I'll tell her I see her. I acknowledge her pain. I forgive her. And I'll ask her to forgive me, for being the favored one, for having what she wanted, even though I didn't ask for it. Hajun touches her hand. It's dangerous. Kim has been working with my father. If you approach her. Then I approach her, Evelyn says. This is the only way, Hajun. You know it is. Grandmother WA nods. The ritual must happen at the Tower of Balance, the highest point between worlds. Both sisters must be present, both willingly. And there must be a witness, a dragon warrior to officiate and anchor the magic. She looks at Hajun. That's your true duty, little dragon. Not to kill the princess, but to protect the ritual. To make sure it's completed without interference. I can barely stand, Hajun says. How am I supposed to? Grandmother WA's hands glow with soft blue light. She presses them against Hajun's chest, and he gasps as power flows into him. Not healing, exactly, but reinforcement. Buying him time. This will last 48 hours, she says. After that, if the ritual isn't complete, the dragon marks will consume you entirely. So you'd better make sure it works. Hajun bows his head. Thank you, Grandmother. Don't thank me yet. Grandmother WA stands, suddenly looking every one of her 200 years. The Tower of Balance is guarded by your father and the Ironclan. They don't know the true nature of the ritual, and they won't let you complete it without a fight. You'll need help. From who? Evelyn asks. Grandmother WA smiles. From me, child. I'm old, but I'm not dead yet. And it's past time I stopped enabling my grandson's self-destruction. She picks up a staff that was leaning against the wall, gnarled wood wrapped in glowing symbols. Let's go save some worlds. The Tower of Balance is exactly what it sounds like, a structure that exists in both Seoul and the Beaman Kingdom simultaneously, visible only to those who know how to look. It rises from the center of what appears to be an abandoned construction site, shimmering in and out of reality. They approach at dusk, 4 to 7 hours into their deadline. Evelyn's hands won't stop shaking. Grandmother WA walks beside her, steady as stone. Hajun brings up the rear, his dragon marks glowing beneath his shirt, a constant reminder of the time they are running out of. As expected, Deong waits at the tower's base. His brought an army, Ironclan warriors in their void-black armor, rift demons with glowing eyes, and standing at his right hand, looking like a queen in her blood-stained white suit, is Kim Jwin. Sister, Kim says, and the word drips with venom. Come to die like a good little princess. Come to live, Evelyn corrects. And to save you while I'm at it. Kim laughs. Save me? I don't need saving. I have exactly what I want. Power, purpose, revenge. You have pain, Evelyn says gently. And I'm so sorry. I'm sorry our parents didn't see you. I'm sorry you lost your mother and no one acknowledged your grief. I'm sorry I got everything you wanted without even asking for it. I'm sorry you've been alone in your rage for 25 years. And I'm sorry I can't remember the sister who taught me to braid my hair. But I want to. God, Kim, I want to know you again. For just a moment, Kim's expression flickers. Pain, longing, confusion. Then her walls slam back up. Pretty words. But words don't change reality. The prophecy is clear. Your death seals the rift. I've spent my whole life waiting for this moment. Don't ask me to give it up now. The prophecy is wrong. Grandmother WA interjects, stepping forward. Or rather, it's been misinterpreted. The sacrifice isn't blood, Kim Jwin. It's forgiveness. Yours and your sister's. The death it requires is the death of the anger that created the rift in the first place. Deong's expression hardens. Lies. The seer speaks in riddles. The seer speaks in truth. Grandmother WA snaps. And you would know that if you cared about anything beyond control. The rift was created by a child's rage. It will be sealed by sisterly love. That's the balance. That's always been the balance. Kim stays at her. You're saying, I created the rift. You were 10 years old and in agony, Evelyn says. It wasn't your fault, Kim. You were just a child who needed help and didn't get it. Don't, Kim's voice breaks. Don't you dare pity me. I don't pity you. I love you. Evelyn takes a step forward, and immediately Ironclan warriors move to intercept. But Grandmother WA's staff strikes the ground, and a shockwave ripples out, freezing everyone in place. Let the sisters speak, she commands, her voice carrying the weight of ancient authority. This is their story, not yours. Evelyn walks forward until she's standing directly in front of Kim. Up close, she can see the similarities. Same eyes, same stubborn jaw, same haunted expression. I can't give you back the childhood you lost. I can't erase the pain. But I can offer you something different. A future. A sister who sees you, who knows your name, who wants to build something new with you. If you'll let me. Why? Kim whispers. Why would you forgive me when I've done nothing but hurt you? Because you're my sister, Evelyn says simply. And because holding on to anger only creates more rifts. I've seen what it does in my work. Patients who die bitter, who spend their last moments reliving grudges instead of celebrating love. I don't want that for us. I don't want our story to end in rage. Kim's eyes fill with tears. I don't know how to let go. The anger is all I have left. It's not, Evelyn says. She reaches out slowly, giving Kim time to pull away. When she doesn't, Evelyn takes her hand. You have me. You've always had me. I just didn't remember. But I do now, and I'm not letting go again. The dagger at Evelyn's hip begins to glow. Not with golden light this time, but with something softer, warmer. Rose gold, the color of dawn breaking. Kim stares at their joined hands. What do I do? You forgive yourself, Evelyn says. You let go of the idea that you were unworthy, unloved, forgotten. Because you weren't. You were just a child in pain, and no one should have to carry that alone. I'm scared, Kim admits. Me too, Evelyn says. But we can be scared together. That's what sisters do. Kim's other hand comes up to grip Evelyn's. The moment they connect, the world explodes with light. Not violent, Not destructive, but cleansing. The rift that's been invisible but present this entire time, the tear in reality that's been spilling demons and darkness, suddenly becomes visible as the light touches it. It's a wound in the air itself, ragged and bleeding energy. And as the sisters hold each other, as forgiveness flows between them, the wound begins to close. Deong screams, "No! The prophecy is being fulfilled," Hajun says, stepping forward. His dragon marks are blazing now, anchoring the magic, channeling it. "Just not the way you wanted. Father, let it go. Let them heal." But Deong won't listen. He raises his hand, summoning demons, trying to disrupt the ritual. Grandmother Wa intercepts him, her staff clashing against his power in a battle of wills. "Keep going," she shouts to the sisters. "Don't stop." Evelyn pulls Kim closer. "I forgive you. For everything. All of it." Kim sobs. "I forgive me too. And I forgive you for being loved when I wasn't. It was never your fault." The rift closes another inch. The light grows brighter. Then Kim says the words that change everything. "I forgive our parents. I forgive the kingdom. I forgive everyone who didn't see me. Because holding on to it is killing me, and I want to live. Evie, I want to live." The rift seals with a sound like thunder and silence combined. The demons scream as they are pulled back through, return to whatever realm they escaped from. The Ironclan warriors stumble, released from whatever compulsion was driving them. And Deong collapses. Hajun catches him before he hits the ground. "Father!" "The balance," Deong whispers. His skin is ashen, his breathing labored. The ritual required a death after all. Not the princess. Not the rage. But the one who perpetuated it. The one who taught his son that duty mattered more than love. He looks up at Hajun with something that might be pride or might be regret. "I was wrong. You're not weak. You're what I should have been." "Father, don't," Hajun's voice cracks. "It's right," Deong says. "The balance has been restored. Let me go, son. Let me be the sacrifice this time." He closes his eyes. And dies.
They bury Deong in the Seoul National Cemetery, despite his crimes, because Hajun insists his father deserves that much honor. Grandmother Wa officiates, speaking words in an ancient language about duty and sacrifice and the price of love. Kim stands beside Evelyn throughout the ceremony, their hands linked. They are still learning to be sisters, still navigating the complicated terrain of shared trauma and different childhoods. But they are trying, and that's what matters. After the burial, Hajun finds Evelyn standing alone by the cemetery's edge, watching the sun set over Seoul. "How are you?" he asks. "Alive," Evelyn says. "Which is more than I expected 48 hours ago." She turns to him, studies his face. The dragon marks are fading now, losing their glow. Without his duty to fuel them, they are becoming just tattoos, beautiful, but no longer binding. "And you? Your marks are disappearing." "I'm free," Hajun says. "For the first time in my life, I'm not a weapon or a warrior. I'm just a man." He sounds uncertain, like he's not sure what to do with that freedom. Evelyn takes his hand. "Want to figure it out together? This whole being normal people thing?" Hajun smiles. "I've never been normal a day in my life. But with you, I'd like to try." "Good." Evelyn leans into him. "Because I'm staying in Seoul. Kim needs me. And honestly, I need her. We have a lot of lost time to make up for." "And us?" Hajun asks. "What are we?" Evelyn thinks about it. "We're two people who saved each other. Who chose love over duty, forgiveness over revenge, life over death. I'd say that's a pretty good start." "Just a start." Hajun pulls her closer. "I'm aiming for something more long-term." "Good," Evelyn says again, and kisses him. It's nothing like the binding kiss in the parking garage, the one that marked her and made her visible to her enemies. This kiss is soft, sweet, full of promise. It's the kiss of two people who have all the time in the world to figure out what comes next. When they break apart, Kim is watching them from a distance, a genuine smile on her face for the first time Evelyn has seen. She raises her hand in a small wave, and Evelyn waves back. "Are you going to keep nursing?" Hajun asks. "Absolutely," Evelyn says. "Turns out I really am good at bringing people back from the edge of death. Why waste that?" She grins. "Although I might need to explain to my supervisor why I've been missing shifts. Think interdimensional war and ancient prophecy will fly as an excuse." "Probably not," Hajun says. "But you can try." They stand there as the sun sets completely, as Seoul lights up around them like a constellation of earthbound stars. Somewhere out there, the Beaman Kingdom exists, safe now, the rift sealed. Somewhere out there, Ironclan warriors are returning to their normal lives, their purpose fulfilled. And here, in this moment, Evelyn Williams, Princess Jaywa, the shadow nurse, the death kiss, is exactly where she's meant to be. Alive, free, loved, and ready for whatever comes next.